Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name's Frank. Welcome to the first vlog style video I wanted to do for the channel. And for today's vlog, I want to talk about my print setup. As you can see, I have all my printers here, and I kind of want to show you guys all the printers I have now, because the videos are very scattered, and I get that. Between the upgrades, the build reviews, the unboxing, it's hard to keep track of the equipment I have. So I want to do one all-inclusive video of basically, I don't know if you can call it a print farm at this point. There's 6 printers now, and they are all pumping out things pretty much 24/7. So I kind of want to take you through, explain them, their benefits, their pros, their cons, what upgrades I have, and yeah, so let's get started. I do want to apologize for 2 things right off the bat. First, the audio. I'm going to do my best to stay right behind the microphone here because obviously I have printers going, one of them being an Ender 3, and if you have an Ender 3 or an Ender 5, you know how loud they are. So a lot of the whirring and whining you're going to hear are from them. And this print room is still being set up. I'm still figuring things out. I'm getting some cameras mounted up there. So right now I have just a little temporary solution of one of the Wi-Fi cameras watching the printers just to be safe. But I wanted to take you guys around the room and show you the new print setup, because I don't think this has made it into a video quite yet. As you can see, I have 6 printers now, all Creality brand, because they really haven't let me down yet. I'm actually quite a fan of them, and I really can't say anything bad about them. They're very maintenance friendly printers, and I want to start with my first printer over here. This is the Creality CR10S. This is what you guys have seen in most of the videos, and the setup I have here is pretty basic. It's actually printing a new keyblade for me. The rest of the keyblade is actually sitting over here. So this is one whole keyblade printed in a couple parts. This is my first multi-print project. I'm actually redoing it, and that's for another video. I'm gonna see how much nicer I can make it a year later. How much better can I make this keyblade compared to my first multi-print project? And I'm printing a second one to actually give to a friend. But this is the Creality CR10S. The minimal upgrades I've talked about, the all-metal extruder, the Bowden Capricorn tube here. I moved the spool holder up top with some pretty basic hardware. I'm pretty sure this hardware came with it. It was just some extra nuts, a filament guide. I had Z-rods on here, but I got rid of them because they weren't doing anything. I was able to compare this CR10S with my other second CR10S. I got this one new for about 400, 450. I got this one for about 200 used because I knew how to repair it. I had been more comfortable with printing, so I had 2 printers to print my Mark 85, and I also have a wire extension system on them. And I also do have stepper dampener motors on them, but they are negligible at this point because both these printers have silent mainboards. And if these Enders weren't going, you wouldn't be able to hear, you can't even tell these things are on. I would actually forget they were on in the room. They are so quiet and smooth. So if you're thinking about upgrading your silent board, I definitely recommend the Creality brand one. It was a plug and play. I just added TH3D's firmware because it just runs a little bit better. And I have 2 more silent boards there. One for one of the Ender 5s coming in another video, and then one for my Ender 3 also for another video, because these things are loud. But I kind of have a little setup here. I use some empty spools to make a little bit of a stand to kind of boost them up and give me a little bit more room for them, for the wires and all that. And I like it. I'm not going to do an all-in-one, but that's totally fine. And these things have been absolutely monsters. I haven't had any problems with them, never had any bad nozzle blowouts. My steppers are still good, my Z-rods are still good. These things are just absolutely workhorses. And if you're thinking about getting a simple cosplay printer, these are it, man. These really are. I want to take you down here to the next printer I got. It's a Creality Ender 3. And sorry it's dark down here. I'm still trying to install some lights. But this printer is just for 160, 170, 180, depending on where you get it, what sale you get it on. This thing is just absolutely ridiculous. And I actually just realized as I'm filming this, it is air printing. I haven't been in here. That's really interesting. Why are you air printing, my guy? Oh, look at that. Huh, the filament snapped. Well, that's kind of a bummer. I was actually printing a new Infinity Gauntlet, but we're gonna actually kill that, so I'm glad I caught you for that. Yeah, that's a real bummer, my guy. This was coming out super smooth. This actually has, so we can actually talk about that, because we can't print resume because we actually lost our telemetry because it's been air printing for so long. We're actually gonna pull off the magnetic bed here. Oh, see how easily that came off? Wow, I'm actually really upset right now, but look how smooth that was coming out. I'm gonna put this down and zoom in. That is just beautiful. Look at that. This was at max quality with my Ender 3, and it was showing. That is just absolutely gorgeous. And this was probably going to be one of my best prints, but as you can see, it failed. That sucks. We'll troubleshoot that later, but for now, hey, look, a magnetic bed. So we're going to stop the print. We don't need that. It'll unlock the steppers, and we'll pull this out. So this is a magnetic bed, and I used to swear by these. I thought these were the absolute best thing in the world until it started to gunk up a little bit and kind of start to cause me problems. So I actually, after getting my Ender 5 Pluses with this improved premium glass bed with this microporous surface, I actually went and grabbed one for my CR10S, and this thing is amazing. The bed adhesion I'm getting on this is insane. I am probably going to completely get rid of my magnetic bed on this one and just have the premium bed. But what you can probably see, I still have the magnetic stick pad underneath it. I just had to re-level my bed. So if this glass bed ever gives me problems or breaks or something, or for some reason I want to print with a magnetic bed, I can actually pop this off, come right here, grab my other magnetic bed, put it back on, and flip-flop them. I don't know why I would ever want to do that, but it's a nice option. So the Ender 3 has very similar upgrades. I have a all-metal extruder, and I think that actually contributed to why this filament snapped. That really sucks. It probably happened a few hours ago. And then a Bowden Capricorn tube, and that's all I have on this. I do plan on putting a silent mainboard on this just to quiet it down, because the Ender is a cheaper printer, so it doesn't have the bells and whistles of the other ones. So it is very noisy, and I want to quiet that down. But let's meet its big brother. So I have two Ender 5 Pluses. One was given to me by Creality. Doesn't really matter which one. And the other one was won from a contest with Do3D. They're the exact same printer. And at this point, they are upgraded exactly the same. They both have an all-metal extruder, which was put on in another video, and then a Bowden Capricorn tube, or a Capricorn Bowden tube. And that's all the upgrades these two have, as well as a 0.6mm nozzle. Speaking of nozzles, I have a 0.6mm on both my Ender 5s and a 0.6mm on both my CR10s. My Ender 3 and my CR10 Max are both running the stock 0.4mm nozzle, and these things are amazing. I wish this thing existed when I started it over a year ago, because the stability of this printer is ridiculous. It doesn't wobble. It just moves up top and lowers the bed, so it lets me get really nice tall prints like this without the risk of ghosting or shadows or wobble. They just don't move, and these are amazingly smooth, and this is a rough quality print. The same with this new Captain America shield. I'm printing another broken shield for a friend, and as you can see, it's coming out super stable. I did have a filament run out, and the bed did cool. The print didn't unstick, but just to be safe, I threw some tape down, and I would never use anything besides masking tape on these premium beds, because everything else is going to gunk up the pores on it, so just be careful with that. But if you're considering cosplay and you can actually afford one of the Ender 5 Pluses, they're between $500 and $600, get this one. I wish I had gotten this right out the gate as opposed to the CR10S. It's just a bigger, more stable printer. I can print at up to 100mm a second. Right now I think I'm running about an 80, where 60 to 70 is roughly what I can print stock on those, just because of how much the bed moves. And last but certainly not least is the CR10 Max. This thing is just silly. This thing is gigantic. It's a cool way to spend $1,000. Hopefully that price comes down over time, and I assume it will, but you can just see how much nonsense I can fit on this bed. Just all the parts. It's 450 by 450 by 470, and it is just a massive printer. It's gross. Again, hopefully the price comes down. The reason I got this over an S4 or an S5 was because of all the bells and whistles, and then I see everybody have problems with leveling and warped beds and all these problems with the S4s and S5s, and while some people swear that they don't have those problems, there just seemed to be a gross margin of people who did, and I didn't feel like risking it, so I went with the CR10 Max. The only problem I had right out the gate was the Bowden tube coupler. The stock one blew out on me, and I talk about that in the build video. Don't mind the duct tape. I know it's a little bit of a band-aid fix, but there is a new coupler on there, and it has been great. I also got rid of the sheeting that was around the all of this. There was a plastic sheeting around all of it, and I took it off. And this is actually just a keychain lanyard that supports the wires as it travels up and down. the spool holder goes up top, and it's just a behemoth of a printer. But because the bed still moves in and out, this is a lot of weight, so you have to print slow. I don't like going over 70 on this, and that's really pushing it. And that'll only be a print that's more oriented on the y-axis. And what I mean by that is the nozzle will go left and right, but the bed isn't moving in and out too much. So you got to be careful with print orientation. That can really determine how fast you can print. But aside from the price tag, this thing is just insane. The size of the prints I can get off of this. I was able to print my entire Captain America shield in 2 giant parts on this. It can handle anything I can throw at it, and it's just a slow printer, but I mean, it is a beast, and he has earned the angry googly eyes that he is so rightfully deserving of. And yeah, so that's this guy. And as you can see, if you're new to 3D printing, if you're considering it, there is just such a wide variety of printers you can get. You can start small, and ignore my print failure because I'm still upset about that. But you can start small with a $170, $180 printer, or you can go real big. Now, I really wouldn't turn anybody away from any of these printers. They're all pretty user-friendly. The Ender 3 and the CR10Ss will take a little bit more of a learning curve. They don't have auto level or auxiliary leveling, and BL touch sensors. That little red light up sensor that's sitting there helps level the bed and keep you, more stable and proper. But you're gonna pay for it. As you get more features, as you upgrade, you are gonna pay more for it. I wouldn't sell these and get a CR10S Pro. There's no need to. However, if I was to rebuy them again out of the gate now, I probably might go for the Pro versions that have some more of the bells and whistles, right? Because the technology is coming down in price. So you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to get 3D printers. You don't need to have a print farm like this. You can be very happy with a CR10S or an Ender 3 and print all the same stuff I do. It'll just take you a little bit longer. As you can see over here, I have literally every spool of filament I've ever used. I haven't totaled it all up. There is a lot back there, and yeah, they're piling it up quick. In here, we have just some spare parts, some spare lights, some upgrade parts, just kind of an organized little section. All my little quick repair tools, spare nozzles and springs, and it's just a quick little kit I can take out to fix any of the printers whenever things may go awry. And then I have the more intricate parts, new nozzles and steppers, and just a lot of backup parts in here just in case. I have a little bit more of a workbench over here for my vinyl cutting and shirt making, and I'm slowly turning this into something else, different type of workstation, but everything here fits. I'm working on the camera system, the same fire suppression system. I got a bigger fireball, and we're gonna do something fun with the old one as a little bit of a test to see how well they work. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the print room, what I'm running right now, and this could change. I have to leave England in May. We're gonna be moving to another part of the world, and I might not have room for all of these, so we're gonna see what happens. But I'm very excited for the change, and maybe I'll have more room. Maybe I'll have more printers, so we'll find out. And I'm really excited for it. That kind of does it for this video, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to grab the camera and show you the print room. And slowly, as these kind of vlog styles evolve, we'll be talking more painting and just little gee whiz things that I kind of realize as I'm going through the prints. And I just want to show you these things. I just want to grab your attention and show you maybe something that's not tutorial worthy, or maybe something I have already covered in a tutorial. I just want to elaborate more on. Kind of pull you more into the, like I said, the behind the scenes of how I'm making all this stuff, what's going on, because there's really no need for a tutorial for all this stuff. It's just printers, but a lot of you might still be interested in it if you're considering the hobby. So stay tuned for more of these. This will help me upload a lot more frequently and get information to you guys quicker without having to worry about editing every single video intricately and cutting things out. So let me know in the comments, please, if you enjoyed this video, if this was useful, if this benefited you in any type of way. I want that feedback, so please let me know, guys. If you haven't already, if you could subscribe, that'd be really cool. I want to keep expanding these video ideas and doing stuff like this, so your subscription would really mean a lot to me, and it keeps all this going. It lets me reach out to my patrons and get supported across the channel and just do all of this stuff. And thank you to all my patrons too. You guys make a lot of this possible, so thank you. And thank you to everybody who watches. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good day.